The court's jurisdiction is divested until those courts determine otherwise.
Well, actually, none of that is true.
Add documents, if I could serve the court, these documents that I have is referring to a removal that's been passed up from the clerk, and as well my case is in fact on an appeal. Your Honor, I object on this bench trial. I do want a jury trial.
This sovereign citizen clown just walked into court for OVI charges and driving with no license, no registration, just vibes and bad decisions. Right off the bat here, he starts throwing around that sovereign citizen lingo like it actually means something, and you can just tell the judge is already over it. His argument is so incredibly dumb here, you're gonna want to rewind just to make sure he really said what you think he said. Honestly, I can't tell if he's full-on sovereign citizen or just a confused dude who got stuck on the wrong YouTube rabbit hole. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys feel bad for this guy? Or is this just what happens when you take legal advice from a Reddit thread? Either way, it gets heated fast here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this while we watch. Let's go ahead and dive in here and watch this clown get absolutely humbled.
Jeremiah Mackey Jr. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the record should reflect that the defendant is present in the courtroom today. Miss Yeager is here on behalf of the state of Ohio, and this matter is scheduled for a trial to the court. The defendant is charged with 2 counts of involving driver's license violations. One is driving under a OVI suspension, and the other is driving under a it looks like it says security on the citation, but according to the new Albany Municipal Code, it's basically just driving under a forfeiture.
What I have is a financial responsibility.
Yeah. So the driving under an OVI charge, or under an OVI suspension charge, is a first-degree misdemeanor. Carries up to 180 days jail, up to a $1,000 fine, and up to a 1-year license suspension. Does carry mandatory minimum penalties of up to, or of at least $250 fine, a 1-day license suspension, and at least 3 consecutive days in Licking County Jail. The other charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, I believe, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't carry any potential jail time. And either way, if the defendant were to enter pleas of guilty or be convicted of the offenses, they would merge for the purposes of sentencing, so there'd only be 1 conviction. Ms. Yeager, is the state ready to proceed with trial today?
Yes, Your Honor. However, Mr. Mackey informed us he actually wanted this set for a jury trial, not a bench trial today.
All right, and Mr. Mackey, what do you have to say about that?
She is absolutely correct, Your Honor. Also, I shared with her as well, add documents, if I could serve the court.
Why don't you just tell me what you have there first?
These documents that I have is referring to a removal that's been passed up from the clerk, and as well my case is in fact on an appeal at the moment.
On appeal where?
I'm sorry?
On appeal where?
It's an appeal.
In what court? That's what I'm saying. Where have you filed an appeal?
The Court of Appeals.
Okay, which district?
The 10th District.
Okay, now that covers Franklin County, and we're in the 5th District Court of Appeals.
I'm sorry, it's the 5th District. You're absolutely right. The 5th District.
I'm assuming that your appellate paperwork is similar to what you've been submitting to the court. That's what it looks like.
That one, or the...
But just in general, all of your filings with this court are on this. It's kind of a unique. The documents are unique in that they're gray and they're typed in all caps, and one of them, it looks like, from what you just filed this morning, was filed in the United States District Court in the District of New Jersey in the Newark Division. And this is obviously Newark, Ohio.
It's one thing to be a sovereign citizen submitting random black and white papers into the court with your BS logic, like you're casting spells with Microsoft Word. But it's also another thing to be submitting your important paperwork to a completely different state. Bro really sent legal documents meant for Ohio to New Jersey. Like, what's next? You're gonna fax your appeal to Chuck E. Cheese? How you get those states mixed up is beyond me, especially when even Google Maps is out here begging you to double check. And a fun fact too, courts can actually toss out your entire case if you file in the wrong jurisdiction, and they won't even feel bad about it either. I once filled out the wrong form just trying to renew my license, and I had a breakdown in that DMV parking lot, so I get the struggle there, but at least I didn't try to declare myself a free citizen of Atlantis. It's almost like these these people skipped civics class and majored in delusion.
Well, here's what I will tell you, Mr. Mackey. You do have the right to have a trial by jury, but in order in a what we call a petty offense, and a petty offense is anything punishable by less than 1 year in prison. A jury trial is not automatic. It has to be demanded. And Rule 23 of the Ohio Rules of Criminal Procedure require that jury demand be made not less than 10 days before the scheduled bench trial. So your request for a jury trial would be untimely. Now, I'll entertain a position from the state in that regard. Do you intend to represent yourself throughout, whether you have a bench trial or a jury trial? Or did you want the court to, or are you going to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you?
Represent myself, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deny what I construe to be a motion to continue for the purpose of setting the matter for jury trial because the matter's been pending for quite some time. Let's see, all of February, all of March, and now halfway into April. And so the defendant did have an ample opportunity to submit a demand for trial by jury, but that demand was made in an untimely fashion today. So the record will reflect that the motion was made, but the court denied that. So how would you like to proceed? Would you like to have your trial today, or did you want to change your pleas from not guilty to guilty or no contest?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, I motion that this case be continued and or stayed because the case is now on an appeal in the 5th District Court of Appeals. Also, the case has been petitioned moved to the Ohio District Court under case 223 CV 02962 JLG CHG and to the New Jersey District Court under case 224 CV 03934 LEFJBC. The court's jurisdiction is divested until those courts determine otherwise.
Well, actually, none of that is true. Basically,
So far, I'm really starting to like this judge. Like, finally, somebody who isn't afraid to clap back at this DIY lawyer. Like, finally, somebody who isn't afraid to clap back at these DIY lawyers with a god complex. He pretty much told the dude, fine, you want to be a sovereign citizen in my court? Fine, you want to be a sovereign citizen in my court? Cool, but at least pretend like you passed 6th grade social studies. And I swear, this guy just kept repeating New Jersey District Court like it was some kind of magic spell. Bro, you're in Ohio, not Hogwarts. Like, the judge literally corrected him earlier, and it just flew through his brain like a breeze in an empty room. Like, if I had $1 for every time a sovereign citizen ignored basic instructions, I'd be on a yacht reacting to this instead of a bedroom. I mean, let me know what you guys think about this, because at one point I want to laugh, but the other half of me just thinks this is a complete waste of time for the courts.
number one, your paperwork from that purports to be from the federal district court doesn't look like pleadings from the federal district court. Those are plain white paper with the case number in blue up at the top of the page, and that's not how yours are captioned. Furthermore, as far as jurisdiction is concerned, this court does have jurisdiction because this is an alleged violation of the traffic laws of the city of New Albany that is alleged to have occurred within Licking County. This court has jurisdiction over traffic offenses that are alleged to have occurred within Licking County, and by being here today and by entering pleas, you've waived any objection to personal jurisdiction over you. All right?
Your Honor, I object on this bench trial. I do want a jury trial.
Okay, and as I've already explained to you, you did not make your demand in a timely fashion, so the motion to continue and the request for a trial by jury is going to be denied. It doesn't sound to me like you don't want to, I know you don't want to change your pleas from not guilty to guilty or no contest, so at this time I'm simply going to order or ask the prosecutor to call their first witness.
Thank you. The state will call Officer Corse to the stand, please.
Officer, please come forward and be sworn. Oh, actually, before he does that, Mr. You can have a seat, but Mr. Mackey, you indicated that you do wish to represent yourself, correct? Was that right? Okay. So you have the right to be represented by an attorney by hiring one of your choosing. You're also eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost. If you qualified based upon your income, your expenses, your household size, the court would appoint an attorney to represent you. However, if it's your intention to represent yourself, it is necessary to execute a written waiver of the right to counsel. 1258. So, if it is your intention to represent yourself and to waive your right to an attorney, go ahead and sign by the X there. But do please read that, because I'm going to make sure that you understand what it is.
Yes, that on.
I've been objected to this. I object this trial.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Refusing to sign this, Your Honor. At this moment, I'm not refusing to sign it. This court jurisdiction has been divested.
Okay, well, I've already ruled on that, and that can certainly be appealed at a later time. But this part of the case, this portion or this part of the process is going to go forward. If you later appeal, if you're found guilty, I'm not saying you will be, but if there's a conviction that's entered, you have the right to appeal to the 5th District, arguing that this court never had jurisdiction over you, which means basically this would all not count. But you don't get to make. I've already made the determination that the court does have jurisdiction over you. If you don't want to sign that form, obviously I can't make you do that, but I will declare what's called a constructive waiver of counsel. And what that means is you've said out loud that you wish to waive your right to counsel, that you want to represent yourself. I'm going to accept that as a valid waiver of counsel, even if you don't wish to sign that. So, Ms. Kyle, if you'll bring this back to me, and for what it's worth, Mr. Mackey, this was filed with the court, and I do have a copy of that, and I did look at it, okay?
Officer Michael Coors, COHRS.
While on patrol, what first drew your attention to the defendant's vehicle?
As he was traveling northbound, making a left turn onto the State Route 161 westbound on-ramp, I observed he had dark tinted windows, which initially drew my attention. And then as he passed me, I made the right-hand turn, drove behind him, and entered his license plate.
Okay, and did his license plate, when you ran that, return anything?
It did. It turned through my mobile computer, through our leads program on there. I observed that his license plate had expired, or registration, I should say, expired on July 8th of 2024.
And so when you approached the defendant for the stop, did you inform him as to the reason for your traffic stop?
I did.
And did he have anything to say about that?
He stated he was aware that the registration had been expired.
Okay. And did he have a driver's license for you too?
He had an identification card.
An ID card? Okay. Were you able to then go back to your mobile unit and run his driver's license status?
Yes.
And what did that return?
I observed again through my computer system that it showed he had multiple active suspensions, one of them being the OVI suspension that he was cited with, as well as the 2 non-compliance suspensions. On my system, the reason why it was shown on the citation as a security suspension, that was the label, but per what I read through the system there, it was the financial liability.
Nothing further for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mackey, you have the right to ask this question witnesses. You have the right to ask this witness questions if you wish, but you're not required to. And once the state's rested its case, you'll have the right to present evidence on your own behalf. But this portion of the trial is just for questioning. Do you have any questions for the officer?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm not even shocked in the slightest. This is classic sovereign citizen behavior, and we've seen it way too many times. They scream that the court has no jurisdiction, they try to file made-up laws from who knows where, probably a Reddit thread, and then when it's time for their big moment to question the only witness, they just sit there like they forgot they were even in court. Like, bro, you were literally loud 5 minutes ago quoting the Magna Carta. Now you're suddenly shy. At this point, they're basically begging for a guilty verdict. I mean, at least ask the witness something dumb like, do you believe in birds, or how your day's going? You'd probably get further with that than just sitting in silence. Like, if you represent yourself and don't ask any questions, the court just moves on without you like you're not even there. Let me know what you guys think about this guy so far.
Officer Coors, you may step down. Any additional witnesses on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor. Subject to the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, the state would rest.
All right. So, Mr. Mackey, the state is asking me to admit the certified BMV records into evidence. If I grant that request, that means I'll be able to consider that in making my decision about whether or not the state has met its burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to object to whether or not that comes in. Do you have any objection to the court admitting that as an exhibit?
To this bench trial, Your Honor, I do. I object to this bench trial, Your Honor.
Okay, well, we've discussed that already, Mr. Mackey, so at this time I'm just asking whether or not you have an objection to the admission of the exhibit.
Yes.
And on what basis?
This court no longer has jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Well, that's non-responsive to the court's question. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reflect that the defendant is objecting to the admission of State's Exhibit 1, but I will admit that over the defendant's objection. Does the state rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Mackey, the state has rested its case. In our system of justice, it's always the prosecution's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before a person can be convicted. A defendant is never required to produce any evidence, call any witnesses, introduce any exhibits into the record, or even testify on their own behalf. And if they don't, I don't hold it against them. It doesn't lessen the state's burden of proof. It doesn't diminish your presumption of innocence. But you do have a right to present evidence by calling other witnesses, introducing exhibits into the record, and testifying on your own behalf. If you elect to take the witness stand, however, you will be required to either swear or affirm to tell the truth in giving me your side of the story. And when you're finished giving your side, you will be required to answer any questions that the prosecutor might have. So other than yourself, do you have any witnesses that you'd like to call today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you wish to testify on your own behalf?
Your Honor, I object in this bench trial. Respectfully, Your Honor.
Okay. And I've entertained that objection on more than one occasion now, and I've already overruled it, so it's not necessary to do that. But you are creating a record here, Mr. Mackey, so that, we're recording all this. You'll certainly have the right to obtain a transcript of the proceedings and pursue your appeal regarding the jurisdiction issue. But again, my question that I'll ask one last time is, do you wish to testify on your own behalf?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, very well. Well, the court's heard testimony from Officer Coors, which finds to be credible, that he was on duty on the date in question, that he executed a traffic stop upon discovering that the registration on the vehicle was expired, that he made contact with the driver, who he's identified as the defendant, and upon reviewing the information provided by the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, determined that he was under both an OVI suspension as well as a Financial Responsibility Act suspension. The court, furthermore, has admitted into evidence over the defendant's objection, admittedly, a certified copy of the defendant's driving record through the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and it does in fact list both the noncompliance suspension as well as the OVI suspension, and reflects the expiration date of the registration as being prior to the date of the traffic stop. So I do find that the state has met its burden on all three counts, and I'll go ahead and enter guilty findings. You have the right to make a statement today, Mr. Mackey, before I make any decisions regarding your sentence, but you're not required to. Is there anything that you would like to say other than the jurisdictional issue?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mackey. You know, it's kind of customary for me to ask questions of the defendants about their personal circumstances. If you don't want to answer, that's fine. Do you work? Do you have a job?
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do?
HVAC, sheet metal, as I told the officer that pulled me over. Yeah.
Is that what you were doing that day? You were working out at the warehouses? Okay. Do you work for yourself? Do you work for yourself or do you work for a company?
I work for a company.
Okay. How long have you worked for them?
It's been 3 years. I've been in a steel trade.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. One of the reasons why I'm asking you these questions today is, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of our proceedings, the court is required to impose at the very least a 3-day jail term. I don't want to cost you your job. Do you work Monday through Friday?
Saturday, Your Honor.
Monday through Saturday? Okay. We normally do not have, well, let me go ahead and pronounce sentence first, and then we'll talk about that. When you got pulled over that day, Mr. Mackey, you were just given your citation, and then you were free to go, right? They didn't take you to jail, did they?
Correct.
Okay. All right. As far as the registration is concerned, the fine on that charge is going to be a $25 fine. On the driving under the OVI suspension charge, the court's going to impose a 3-day jail term, a $250 fine, and a 1-day license suspension to be start today and as of midnight. Costs will be assessed. Now, the reason I was asking you about your work and everything else is, as I said, I don't want to cost you your job, Mr. Mackey, but I don't have any discretion when it comes to those 3 days in jail. Normally, we require defendants. I'm assuming you don't want to go today, right? No. Okay. So